Alright, so welcome back to Community Challenge. We've got two other competitors from the Rookie Rebellion 2. Tim's was actually supposed to play against Wade in the semis, but then had to bounce because he was living it up in Europe on holidays. So he missed his chance to face Wade, and if he had to beat Wade, he would have played Andres for the grand final of Rookie Rebellion 2. But that's ancient history now. Andres here in the purple trunks as Norse, up against Tim's in the yellow trunks as Roman. So just like last game, we've got two of the civs that don't have access to early game bowmen, so the meta is to play very melee centric. Try and get on cavalry earlier, like cavalry and counter infantry. Bait your opponent into making spears and then just ramp up your counter infantry count. Or do it the other way, just get a lot of counter infantry. When your opponent starts making cavalry, you just make a couple of spears. Or you just add cavalry of your own when they just try and match you on counter infantry. So it's a very melee centric matchup till age 3. And then it's sort of no holds barred from there. These two civs are sort of the polar opposites with the cavalry in age 2 because Raiders, 1 population, one of the cheapest cavalry units in the game. Decurions, 3 population, the most expensive age 2 unit in the game. So Norse has more opportunity, I think, to do hit and runs with the cavalry. Andre's getting an early barracks. He wants to go for the spears. But Tim's is pretty safe with this. This is the back of his base, so he's a little bit lucky with that. I mean, both players have got a really safe hunt here, so... And Wildwoods has a little bit of extra travel time compared to something like Equal Footing. So it's one of the maps that it's a bit of a tough sell for Spear Rush. Oh, sorry, that's Tim's going for spears. Andres is pretty safe, just going for second TC. Tim's is going to have to try and find a way through here, because this isn't a complete wood line. You can get around the back there, but it is going to take enough time. Andres has already got age 2. He's got plenty of stone, actually. Just needs a little bit more wood, so he can go for a town centre here. Tim's is going to try and harass a couple of villages or two. Just force a garrison, or maybe get a kill. Oh, this is really greedy from Andres, trying to go for it outside the base, and I think Tim's has actually seen that. So he's just going to chase, and this is really tough for Andres. Because Tim's can just go for the villages. Andres should just cancel this and make it at home. There's no point trying to force this up. It will just cost him too much time. He's going to have to send even more villages. And he's getting the loom at the moment, but there's just enough spears here that makes it a bit unviable. Right now, 11 villages to 15. Yeah, I think that was a bit of a misplay from Andres, because now he's going to lose half his economy. He's going to be able to finish it up if he brings these villages as well, but it's just going to be so not worth it. In fact, with another... Oh, with even more spears, yeah, he really should have just cancelled this. Although, the villager bait, it might actually work. He's going to do it, it's going to work here. He's going to finish the TC because it's taken a bit of damage as well, bearing in mind, so... Although, is he going to finish it? He's not going to make it. He's going to make it! He does make it, but man, 5 villages he's got to 18 for Tim's. This is really not the situation he wants to be in. He should be able to clear this out with just the TC, but he's going to be so astronomically behind at this stage, and he's even making villages from this town center instead of the start one. Which is not what he wants, because, yeah, Tims can harass them too. But this spear rush from Tims probably shouldn't have worked. This isn't the best map for spear rush by any means, but Andres a little greedy with that town center. Tims is still only on 1 TC, but he can afford to just pump units at the moment. He can get his own town center right now as well. So, and he's still up by 12 villages at this point. He needs food though. He's out of food. He's probably cut the stone gathering because he can get that town center. But man, Andres is just about done for. He's got single villager production. Even though he's had 2 TCs for like a minute now. Seems to still over gathering that stone. Here we go. He might go for the... He's just going to get some gold for now. Andres double villager production. Tim's is not making any, so there is an opportunity for Andres to bounce back a little here. There is a lot of army he's still got left to deal with, but assuming he can get a stables or a barracks first, ideally. Worry about the stables once you've thinned out these spearmen. He's going to have to garrison. Oh, that's a tidy garrison there. Can do it again. That's it. Back over the other side. That's it. Here we go. He's starting to defend a bit better now. But he needs to get these guys back into it. Andres' eco's catching up. 15 villages to 21, so he's only behind by 6. He was behind by 12 not very long ago. Tims is still getting that second town center now. So Andres, it's not over until it's over. Bear in mind, Tims' production has been really shaky through this. I don't think he anticipated dealing just as much damage with the spears as he did. And then he sort of didn't have his economy balanced around things behind that. I mean, he's definitely going to be up in terms of production. We might be able to see a bit of cheeky defense here from Andres. He definitely needs to get some military production going really soon, though. Make sure he's only just gathering just enough food. And for now, you just need to spam buildings in this situation. A colossally greedy town center. It was a little unfortunate that Tims actually caught the villagers heading off. Andres probably just needed to rally back to his base for like another 2 seconds before he turned around and went for the greedy TC. Because Tims seeing it honestly cost Andres about 10 villages. 25 to 28 villages. So Andres isn't that behind on economy anymore. But he does need to make sure he's only just gathering enough resources. Like you only need 2 gatherers on gold if you're making throwing axemen. Everything else can just go straight onto wood, just so you've got the ability to slay them out as much as possible. Tims is unaware about either barracks at this stage, so that is a bit of a saving grace for Andres. In fact, he's probably readying to go for the town center, which means Andres needs to be careful. If he can make sure he's under 15 villages over here, and even repair it to full, he should be safe because he can just garrison everything and get it out, and then come back and defend it. Because this isn't enough to siege the town center just yet. He probably needs another 4 or 5 infantry at this stage. And here we go. Andres starting to get up to... probably a little bit early on that longhouse because he could squeeze in the 3rd barracks. You've got to be... You know, I know it's really difficult to just truly min-max every part of your macro, but sometimes, especially when it's this early on and you're under the pump already, you kind of have to. Otherwise, you know, like if you want to claw your way back into the game, it's all you got. It's the only thing you can do, really. So Andres floating a little bit of food and gold. Ideally, he'd want to have that actually wood so he could just throw down the barracks and the stables. Because if he did, he'd actually not be too badly off. Tims is starting to get shield rim, which it's good for tanking the towers and the town center, but You know, it's a mass melee comp, and really what Tim's wants to do, I mean, he's doing it now, he's getting a couple of Decurions. They just end up absorbing so much damage from the throwing axemen, because these guys, most of their damage against infantry comes from their counter. It doesn't come from their base damage. But Legionaries have more base damage, less counter damage, which means that they're actually better off against cavalry, against ranged, against buildings, against villages. You know, against everything basically. And here's what I was talking about. Like Andres, if he hadn't made sure he's under 15 villages over here, at least he doesn't get those guys caught there. And he should be able to chip away a little bit at Tim's army here. Because, yeah, throwing axemen, they're not super mobile, but Roman comp in general is not particularly mobile either. As long as he just keeps chipping away there, it'll be quite hard for Tim's to take down the town centre here. Let's take some careful micro, but he's doing it at the moment. He needs to make sure he's maintaining that production though. He's got 3 barracks and he's not producing anything. And now here's where it gets tricky, because you need to have a couple of spears in the mix in this situation, because the Decurions can tank so much damage from the throwing axemen. And now Tim's might be able to get that town centre off Andres. Although Andres is trying to repair it. He's trying to focus down the Legionaries while the Decurions are still in tow. He's got Spearmen on the way, but... oh, he keeps getting housed. That's what the problem is. He needs to have a couple of houses here. He can go for another town centre, actually. I think he's just trying to cut his losses, but he's got 4 barracks. He just needs to make sure he's massing. Oh, he's gotten housed again. Going to age 3, but he really just needs to have 3 long houses and then restart the town centre production. You know, get a second town centre here, get 3 long houses. And this is... he can ultimately defend this mass and force Tim's to have to play a bit deeper. You know, get some siege, get some more armory upgrades, that sort of thing. He's doing well to defend as it is though. Like, he took such a big loss initially with that TC, and Tim's, to his credit, is transitioning to the right stuff, but a tad slow on it in a way. In fact, the Vil counts are even. It's just a matter of Andres trying to mass up enough stuff and not getting caught. Here we go. He's waiting for the TC. In fact, he's only sending a villager to build the longhouse. Like, he could literally have 8 villagers build one of the longhouses. Because now he's going for too many. Like, he could probably cut 2 of them and just add 3 stables and a range, or 2 ranges at this point. But he's up to 2 TC again. Tim's getting more upgrades. He's getting combined arms. Pretty handy. Extra train, reduced train time, extra speed. No real combat stats as such. Quillifer in the mix. This is really a good idea. The free damage boost for all of his units. Well, not quite free, but they are cheaper and faster to train than an armory upgrade. I don't know if there's enough spears to take out the Decurions, and I don't know if there's enough throwing axemen to really get through the Legionaries here. Age 3's kicked in for Andres, so his town centers are tankier, and they're going to hit harder, but the Decurions again can just absorb so much damage from all the weaker units. Probably want to try and focus down that Aquilifer if you can. But Andres, I think his army production just under the pump, a little bit slow there, getting housed a couple of times when he didn't need to. He did seem to have plenty in the bank. Like, his eco game is actually probably a little bit better than, slightly better than Tim's, but Tim's has just applied all the right pressure, hasn't thrown away the army. And just dealt so much damage early on. Just trying to garrison what he can, trying to get things back to work as well, but he's getting a couple of berserkers in the mix. But he doesn't have a lot of gold, so he's trying to get that TC here, but oh, and this is really tricky. It's going to be difficult to get back here and kill those villagers. It's not going to be impossible though. Well, this is like watching a game of Tiny. Units having to get around all the base just to get to a couple of villages. I think that might be GG there. Tim's is running out of gold, but all the map control in the world. Andres, that's it for his production. And yeah, early on I think that'll just come down to the that decision by Andres to go for the risky TC. And if he had have gone for this wood line, he could have protected these berries in advance, you know. It could have been so safe for him. And yeah, Tim's just not relenting once he got put ahead like that early on, and GG.